Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beautiful people across the whole world, I am the Oracle, and I'm here to tell you the truth. Of all cards in Dominaria United, as has been the case in every single card review we've done so far, I'm going to tell you exactly how these cards work, what makes them good, what makes them bad. I'm also going to have trivially accounted for the fact that a whole slew of cards rotated out, as it is rotation season. But that's okay. That's exactly what you're doing here, is to uncover exactly how to play when you hit on Thursday. So, couple things to kick off this stream. One, I'm going to be a fucking goof this entire time. What do you think? I'm going to be genuine and accurate in my analysis when I haven't even really gotten to play any of these cards? I mean, get out of here. Second, if you would be interested in bribing to change the review of any of these cards, fantastic. It'll be 5 subs gifted to our community in order for me to re-rate to your selected rating value. That's great. We're big on corruption here. Third thing, as we head into card number 1, I want to note that there's 281 cards. Does anyone know what 281 divided by, let's call it 5.5? Does anyone have any calculators ready? Are there any calculators? Any calculators? Because that's how quickly we have to go through these cards. Because I need to leave at 7. More like 6:55. So with that in mind, we're going to also be looking at a number of cards and just go, this card's just, we're not even going to rate it. We're going to begin, though, with Karn Living Legacy. This card, I love this card. It's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty planeswalker that says, +1, create a tapped Power Stone token. This says, it's an artifact with tap, add colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. Very, 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 very important. You can't, like, get a bunch of Power Stone tokens out and then do an X equals casting cost card, which is what I was trying to do. Because there's that X cost dragon. Oh, look at this. Surrender already gifted us 5 subs and said, the 5th card is a 5 out of 5. You got it, Surrender. Let's... This is a kind of preemptive bribe. I'm going to give you the bill on Tuesday. You're going to go to the floor and say it's the best bill you've ever seen. Yes, this is not for, like, X-cost spells. Now, specifically, it says this mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell, but it can be spent for activated ability costs, like if your land said, hey, pay 4 to put some counters on me and make me a man land. You know, that's great. It's just that you can't do non-artifact spells. Cool. -1, pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library, then put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's -1, pay some mana, draw a card. It's like -1, pay 1, draw 1. That's actually quite good. Especially if you can look deeper for when you're really in a pickle. -7, you get an emblem with tap an untapped artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. This is going to be amazing. Just not in standard. The green screen is filtering out my hair, dude. This is driving me insane. Like, literally, I know it's thin up there, but it's not like I just have some floating... Oh, this is the worst ever. Like, look at this. Look at I can't even believe it. I heard Pig says, I can't respect any 4 converted mana cost walker that doesn't protect itself. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I apologize for you not really knowing how this game works, especially if you're devoted enough to it to tune up to a card review. If you play in any older format, there are 2 mana artifacts that generate mana aplenty. This is a turn 3 planeswalker. And you might say, yeah, Sean, it still doesn't protect itself. 5 loyalty on turn 3? You can get 6 total mana out by turn 4. You're going to be fine. Like, don't even worry about it. This card's unbelievable. Make some treasures, tap the treasures. Imagine if your win condition was shoot someone with treasure. 5 out of 5. I think this card is going to be probably a 1 out of 5 in standard until very suddenly it's out of control. This card will be very solid in draft. I'd give it a 5 in draft. Anointed Peacekeeper, 3/3 Vigilance for 3. As Anointed Peacekeeper enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand. Then choose any card name. Oh. Suppose your opponent cast with the chosen name costs 2 more to cast. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate, unless they're mana abilities. This is a ground Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. It even looks like Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. Wow, you've been working out, Paulo? Wow. This is the same thing as, I don't even remember that, is Elite Spellbinder. Yeah, this card's going to be a solid choice in white lists that are looking to send away a card. Yeah, so I'd give this a 5 out of 5 in both formats, and that's all there is to it. Actually, I'd give it a 4 in Standard, because I think it's going to be solid. Archangel of Wrath. Ooh, a lot of rares kicking things off. 2 and a pair of whites for a 3/4 flying lifelinker. You can kick it for black and kick it for red, and when you do kick it, opponents get dead. Archangel of Wrath enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, deals 2 damage to any target. If it was kicked twice, deals 2 damage to any target. Oh. This card sucks in Standard. Are you kidding me? Absolute dregs. Dregs Standard nonsense crapola. It's crapola. Has lifelink, so you get zapped, healed. I don't know if you've ever lit an insect on fire with a magnifying glass when you were a kid and you just felt better. That's basically how Archangel of Wrath works. I think, though, yeah, I'd give it a magnifying glass out of 5, I think is what I'm going to say. I'd give it a magnifying glass out of 5. Standard, a 4-mana 3/4 that needs to be kicked in 3 colors. Get out of here. No, 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 no. Flying Bad Siege Rhino. Great call, Wonderoy. Also, am I on your TV, Wonderoy? I mean, I know you're on your phone. Look at this. Argivian Cavalier. 2 and a white for a 2/2 that says... What do I do with commons on this stream, huh? I still have 277 cards left to review. I still have 277 cards left to review. I'm just not... This is a common. This is an enlist common. Let's be honest, I mainly play Standard. Get out of here. Argivian Cavalier. Enters battlefield, create a token. Kind of like that, actually. I kind of think that's a little bit neat. Argivian Phalanx. Wow. I can't Argivian any fucks. I nailed that joke. This is trash even in draft. Oh, this is the 5th card. This is a great card. Let's see here. It's a 6-cost 4/4, already a fine stat line. And, oh my gosh, it costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control? I mean, hold on. Affinity for creatures? Get out of town. Like, okay, imagine, hear me out. Bootlegger's Stash is a 6-mana artifact that allows you to tap lands to create treasure tokens. It's crazy. It's like you're saving up the resources. It's almost like StarCraft, which we know is a degenerate, broken game. So Bootlegger's Stash, and then imagine you have a bunch of treasures, and then you can turn all of them into creatures. Oh, you get a 4/4 for 1, and it has vigilance. Mark me as horny. I will give this a 5 out of 5 in all formats. And thanks for the 5 subs, Salad One. All right, Artillery Blast. This card has already let me down. I'm gonna give this a disappointed friend out of 5 review. This card is just... It's 2 mana. It deals X damage, where X plus 1, that's the number of the basic land types among lands you control. I mean, this card was designed clearly by a nerd, okay? The thing about Domain is that the number of basic land types among lands you control is made good by the fact that there's so many dual lands that have both land types. So you'll have like a blue and red mana generator that will be an Island Mountain. This art, though, yes. Do you recognize this? Do you recognize this? What game is a tank that looks like this from? I'm not moving on until some of you get it. And whoever guesses it first gets a 5 out of 5. Whoever guesses it first, I'll give a 5 out of 5. And of course, if one of you wants me to re-rate whomever correctly identifies it, it'll just be 5 subs. Let's see. Everyone's been wrong so far. Been wrong. That is a Dragoon, sir. Yes. From what game? From what game? You're getting close. You're getting close. I said one of the words in the title. I can't believe it. Am I going to have to be the one to say it? It's not Armored Core. Come on, it's an old game. It's a famous Sega Saturn series. All right, come on. There it is. Oh, James GG. Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon. Hell yeah. All right, look at this. Panzer Dragoon Tank. Opening it up. Images. All right, Panzer Dragoon. Oh, wait. How do I... Dude, I'm looking up Panzer Dragoon Tank, and it's just showing me Panzer tanks. This sucks. Panzer Dragoon opening Cinematic. None of you are going to believe me because I can't even get this image. God, I look like a complete liar. Let me... Oh, this is a pain. All right, this is... Wow, I'm already starting to rate myself a little bit lowly. Okay, but hold on. I know I said 51 cards an hour. Just hold on. Panzer Dragoon opening cinematic. There we go. It's very important that you can type at the same speed as you're talking. All right, now we're getting an ad for for therapy. Okay, all right. Google. Oh, Jesus. I don't know why you're getting so real with me all of a sudden. This is appalling. All right. All right, so let me see here. Panzer Dragoon, Saga, one of the greatest games of all time. Beautiful, beautiful tank. Oh my God, he's going to walk onto screen. Oh, this is going to be so sick. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay, hold on. All right, so this is your protagonist. Look at that. There he is. There's your Panzer Dragoon tank. The ancients in this game. An extinct civilization that has its old technology, and this is one of the tanks from the ancients. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at that. Oh my God, absolutely brilliant animation. Look, it was made actually by an extinct civilization. Okay, this is old. This is an old one. And look, there he is. There's your Panzer Dragoon tank. All right, look, I'm not rating this fucking card. And all of you are grounded. Go to your rooms. Benelus Faith Bonder. By the way, is it Banalish or Benelish or Banalish? What is it? And don't type it. Like, actually pronounce it for me. I think it's Benelish. Benelus Faith Bonder, 1 and a white for Vigilance and Lister. Look at that, making up lost time. Benelus Sleeper. It's me when I review this card. Oh, it's pronounced banana. All right, a banana sleeper. I'll give it a 1 out of 5. It seems fine. This strikes me as just general dregs that work well. I actually think this is going to be a little stronger in draft than might initially appear to be the case, due to the fact that the white, green, white, black, all the various combinations make lots of 1/1s. So this should be pretty sick. This should be pretty sick. All right. Captain's Call, create 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Look, the example I was seeking in the past one. More synergies. Charismatic Vanguard, it's me. This is 2 and a white. For creatures you control, get marginally larger until end of turn. Honestly, this is a pretty good stat line. 3 2s for 3. I'm always probably going to wind up with some of these in there. So I think this is fine. Nothing has yet gotten us turned on. Citizen's Arrest. What is happening in this art? What's happening in this art? Oh my God! This is just an Exile effect. We're going to review the art. Is this a monster that's hiding inside of human skin? Or is this a normal person whose head has been split in half, but not so split that it doesn't leave the skull intact, and also the eyes are hot? Oh my gosh. Brownie Points says the Ferexian Sleepers are people who were kidnapped and completed against their knowledge, so they're inside their own skin. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. Oh my God, that's amazing. The people that do the creative on Magic the Gathering own. They are strictly better at this shit than everybody. I mean, I can't believe how good that is. This is incredible. This is incroyable that they have been abducted, turned into Phyrexian sleeper agents, and they don't even know. How embarrassing would that be? To stand up, try to give a speech. You're not naked, but your head does split in half and reveal your completed self underneath. Oh my God. 5 out of 5. I love this. Cleaving Skyrider. Yes, a chef. 2 and a white for a flash with kicker. An additional 3. Already there's 0% chance this ever winds up. Ever in constructed. I played with this card yesterday. It's a flying flash 2/2 that says when Cleaving Skyrider enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals X damage to any target. where X is the number of attacking creatures. So, I think that the only way that I would ever see Cleaving Skyrider showing up in Constructed is if you were able to March of the Multitudes for 20 at the end of their turn, and then when you attack with all 20, when they try to cast Settle the Wreckage, in response, you Cleaving Skyrider to shoot them in the face for 20. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Pretty good against Rabble Rousing. It's so good that if they attack for 5, creating 5 1/1 tokens, casting a spell then for free, you can flash this in for 6 and hit something for 5. 0 out of 5. Don't like this card. It's awful. Even this unicorn is a little embarrassed. He's going into battle and he has like really bright colors on there. I mean, we're trying to be subtle. We're trying to blend in with the clouds here. Clockwork Drawbridge. Oh my god, the art immediately makes me need to give it a 1. Because it's a 0. This is absolute garbage dreck. This is terrible. This is like when someone, when they ate their Pop-Tart, you know how some people don't eat the crust on their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? I knew a kid that didn't eat the non-filling part of a Pop-Tart. So he always had this sort of Pop-Tart picture frame. And he would always be like, hey, do you want my like Pop-Tart crust? And no one ever took him up on that offer. But I would rather eat that than run Clockwork Drawbridge in a single one of my decks. Coalition Sky Knight, 3 and a white for a flying enlist. This card's all right. This bird is trying to pretend to be angry, but is actually not that angry. You know, he's like, oh, all right, sure. This guy's like, charge into battle, and this bird's like, caw. You know, it's whatever. This is a good bird. This is a bird of the day. Danitha, Banalia's Hope. 4 and a white for a first strike vigilance lifelinker. When Danitha Banalia's Hope enters the battlefield, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield attached to Danitha. I actually think that this is... The power level has dropped a lot. The power level has dropped a lot. And this kind of card, even though 5 is a lot, can be pretty value if you're up against some kind of aggro list. I find that whenever there is a rotation, simple forms of lifelink can be quite strong against these aggro red lists, some of these token lists. And is Brutal Cathar is still in standard, I think, right? I don't know. Someone's going to need to tell me how this thing works. So I'd actually rate this as like a sideboard card, like a 2 out of 5. Seems like a sideboard card that could have some merit. The aura or equipment stuff, I don't really know what to make of it. I don't really know too much what to make of it, but I'm just going to not. So there it is. Absolute 5 in draft. Defiler of Faith, which is someone who defiles your face and has a lisp. 3 and a pair of whites for a 5/5 vigilance as an additional... Oh, one of these ones. Yes, a Phyrexian human. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay 2 life, and those spells cost 1 white less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of white mana you pay. So, for instance, Defiler of Faith could make another Defiler of Faith cost 3 vanilla. But it only removes some of the white mana. Now, for any of you that don't know, Phyrexian mana was one of the most broken mechanics of all time. Phyrexian mana had cards with this symbol on it. All right, let's go ahead and fill this in. If you had Phyrexian mana, you'd have something that looks like... You guys might remember this one. This is 1 and 2 Phyrexian black. Now, this meant you could pay black, and 1 to give the creature -5/-5, or you can pay 2 life, and 1 mana to give something -5/-5. Phyrexian mana is out of control. Dismember is one of the most busted cards. Gitaxian Probe, Gutshot. All these things that were free as long as you pay life, get out of here. We're not Yu-Gi-Oh! We care about our mana costs. Yu-Gi-Oh! is a crazy game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, imagine if you wanted to play a card, and the answer was, all right, so play it. What's the cost? What does that mean? Just play it, and then read the entire essay that describes what it does. Gutshot was a fair card. Obscene Sanity, you're grounded. 0 out of 5. This card is trash. It says whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Very good in draft, but is a trash card. Because all standard players, or constructed players for that matter, ever do is say, yeah, it doesn't affect the board state when it enters, so it's not a good card. Llanowar Elf, yeah, it doesn't affect the board state when it enters. It's not a good card. This doesn't affect the board state when it enters, so it's a pretty bad card. Unless you had a card that was like white, 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 and then that would just be 10 health. And there you go. Destroy Evil. Oh, destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Destroy target enchantment. All right, this is like a 4. Okay, this card is a 4 straight up. It's a 4. I'm not joking, man. In constructed. So there is the white card. I can't remember any of the names of these. It's like Valorous Stance, is it? Something like that. That's destroy a creature with toughness 4 or greater, or give a creature indestructible. This changes the indestructible for destroy target enchantment, which I think enchantments are going to be pretty strong. Pretty strong going into this standard rotation. So destroy evil, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. If you run this in limited, you know what? I think that what you'll do is you'll look at this and you'll be like, I don't really want to run this. You'll run it and you'll always be like, oh, this is a good card. And you're going to try to convince yourself that you don't want to run it. I can see it. Griffin Protector. I played with this card. This card is just, it totally sucks. It's just a 0 out of 5. It's a bad bird. Look how weird. Like, what are these arms doing here? These are the grossest, nastiest looking things, man. Every time you have a body horror movie and they want to show something being deformed and clearly not going to be alive for long because its internal and externals just don't plug into each other correctly. I mean, you can tell the Griffin Protector is suffering from internal bleeding. But, like, they always stick some of these little arms on there, don't they? Isn't this just, like, very The Thing? Those aren't its arms. Yeah, like, I don't even know. Yeah, these are, I don't know, these umbilical cords. This is gross. I give it a 0 out of 5. Guardian of New Banalia. Oh, dude, I love me some stained glass art. Big shout out to Judith Schechter. 1 and a white for a 2/2 enlist. Whenever Guardian of New Banalia enlists a creature, scry 2, discard a card. Guardian of New Banalia gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Adonto Vanguard, anyone? This is going to be an annoying card. I'm pissed. I tend to not run very many aggro lists, but this card is just, I'm furious. I'm furious. Future Sean is going to be looking at this card, yelling about how ugly this baby is, being a jerk, as its mom just, like, is indestructibly destroying me. This is just the worst. This is just the worst. I'm going to be very, very upset. So, Season Hallowblade, Adonto Vanguard. The reason I'm saying this is that 2 mana is a really hard mana amount to prevent from landing onto the battlefield. So, if you're a control list, Adonto Vanguard was 2. Season Hallowblade, I think is what it was called, was 2. This is another 2 mana creature that you can discard to make it indestructible. It starts to make it really pesky and obnoxious to deal with. So I really like cards like this from a design standpoint. I think this is terrific. This is a solid 4 for standard. And this is more just a 2/2 in limited, but I still think a solid 2/2 in Lister. Heroic Charge. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Spells kicked. Those creatures also gain trample until end of turn. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think this format is going to be stale. I think limited is going to be stale. Let me tell you. It's going to be big, static, boring board states, and then you're going to heroic charge your way in for 6, get the trample to kick in for the end. Woo! Love cards like this. Love it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in limited. Join Forces. Untap up to 2 target creatures. They each get +2/+2 until end of turn. Spectacular combat trick for limited. This is just more drag garbage and standard. Ugh. Juniper Order Root Weaver. I really like this art a lot, so that automatically gives it a higher rating for me. It's a 2 mana 2/2 that can be kicked to come out with another counter. I think this is a disproportionately good card. I really like creatures that can alone come out as the 3/3 or give the counter to something in formats where a small flyer is going to be able to just peck away for the win. I really liked that. I don't even remember what the name of the card was because I didn't play limited very much in Neon Dynasty. But the little 1/1 lifelinker. It was great. Little 1/1 lifelinker. Little pecker. I love peckers. Just pump up the pecker, man. It's great. Knight of Dawn's Light is all right. 2 mana, 2/2 with first strike. If you would gain life, gain that much +1, and you can pump it. Phrasing? No, all my phrasing is accurate. I like peckers. Is he being recreational or is he just weird? I'm an odd bean. Knight of Dawn's Light this is just an exceptional card. Exceptional card in Limited. I would give it a 4 out of 5 because it won't end the game for you. But I mean, a 2/2 first striker that gets bigger is okay. One of the things I always think about in Standard. God, look at the way it filters my hair out. Hold on, I'm gonna look. Can I just get some water here? Look, it's like you see my hair just disappear. It just disappears. I mean, literally, there's a bunch of hair here that is just not I don't believe... My hair doesn't look like this. You know what? Whatever. I have phantom hair. One of the things I'm always trying to answer when I'm looking at a board state in a limited game is, what's the way that I can get in some chip damage? What's my eventual way to drain my opponent for life as an alternative to an Alpha Strike where I swing with everything? Cards like Knight of Dawn's Light allow you to swing. Your opponent doesn't want to block with anything because you can clearly pump. And then after combat, you've dealt 2 damage, and then you play something for 6 mana. So good. Skorks is not even impress filtering. Age can do the exact same thing. See, here's the thing. I'm balding. I'm like super balding here. I'm balding. But I like balding in the way that I am. The fact that the green screen is making it look like I'm 1 year in the future more bald than I am in this moment causes an indefensible position for me. Because now I sound like just a crazy person. Guys, I know I'm balding. I'm just not balding as much as it appears that I am balding. It's like saying, dude, I didn't fail, bro. I got a D- because I do not understand the material. You're still an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm still balding. I know. But I want you to know, this hair looks like it's in 2024. It's not. This is 2022 hair. And I don't like that the filter is moving me 700 days into the future. Tuesday Twitch says, you look hairier in real life, Day 9. Thank you. Leyline Binding. 5 and a white. Oh my god. I love Leyline Binding. Look at this. A spell costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. Allow me to remind you, this card will never cost 6 because oftentimes decks have lands. Therefore, it's a 5 out of 5. When there's a battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Leyline battlefield leaves. Oh, actually, wait, no, this is sick. Oh, damn. Okay. All right. Okay. Scourgerland says, I always forget, does a Triumph count for 3 here? It does. Here's the thing. This has flash. This is white removal with flash that can be made to cost 2. Esper Deckers that are splashing Triumphs for another color. You know? This is going to show up. This is going to show up. Goodness, if you have 5, it can cost 1. This is good. I'm giving this a 5 for Standard. This card's going to show up. I'm right. If you disagree with me, ban yourself from my chat. Please tune into some other lesser bit of content, because you're getting premium shit here. Scourger Lance says, I'm an Esper asshole myself. I'm happy. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Love Song of Night and Day. Our very first look at the new read-ahead mechanic. We're going to give this one a bird out of 5. So the way this works is, most of the time, when you play a saga, you do Chapter 1, you and target opponent each draw 2 cards. And then the next turn is Chapter 2, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. And then Chapter 3, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. With the new read-ahead mechanic, you can skip to a future chapter. So for instance, let's say your opponent is tapped out. They have 3 health and you have a 1/1. What you can do is play Love Song of Night and Day, go straight to Chapter 3, put a +1/+1 counter on that 1/1, swing for 2, and then just get mad. You can do that. You have the ability to do that because you got your opponent down to 1. It's incredible. So, King Gerks' Domain. This card gets +1 rating for each basic land type among cards you control. That's right. And because I live in America, I don't own any fucking land at all. Ha 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 ha. This card, I mean, drawing a card that seems like desperation, making a bird and putting a counter, I actually think this is a very strong draft card. Literally, these two is a combo I'm constantly seeking if I am playing anything with white in it. A flyer that gets a counter on it to just poke in there. Mesa Cavalier, this is a common. Phyrexian Missionary, 1 in a white for a 2/3. Oh, this is great. This card is just phenomenal. It's a 2/3 lifelinker for 2. Unbelievable defensive stat lines. You can kick it for a total of 4 to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I would give this like a 5 in limited. I'd give this a 5 in limited. It's unbelievable. Constructed, it's unclear to me why I am eagerly putting cards back into my hand for 4. But I remember there was the black, green 3/4 that lets you put a card from your graveyard into your hand. I like that card. And so I like Phyrexian Missionary. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in Constructed. Prayer of Binding. Ooh, another flash for 4. When Prayer of Binding enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Prayer of Binding leaves the battlefield. You gain 2 life. Oh my gosh. Are there any constellation mechanics? Are there any constellation mechanics? I love this card. This is a very good card in Limited. Could be a very good card in Constructed. I'd give it 3s across the board. Zephyr says, what's going on with these flash enchantments? Sure. So, a little bit of history. When Magic the Gathering was first created, Richard Garfield correctly assessed that the heart of the game was the color pie. I'm pretty sure Richard Garfield said that, because if he didn't, well, that's the way it is now. The color pie being green, representing growth and nature and independence and anti-magic and all this stuff, and red representing fire and lightning and elemental magics and etc., 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 etc. And each color having their own unique identity. And whenever you go really hard on a particular identity to where it feels really strong, that causes a really deep sense of pleasure in people. This word is known as resonance. In that, if you look at black cards and there are things being brought from the graveyard to the battlefield, and there's zombies, and there's the idea of like draining life from something, it feels very spooky and resonant with the sort of immoral and amoral and so on. And so with any media, you want to be very careful not to water down your stuff. This was sometimes a criticism of Hearthstone, where many of the cards were the same from class to class. Every single class in Hearthstone had like, oh, here's a sweeper that just deals damage to everything on the battlefield. You know, Flame Strike dealt 4. Lightning Storm dealt 2 or 3. Consecration dealt 2, right? Just like little tiny changes, didn't feel as deep and as rich. So, very important when you're trying to make something resonant that you go deep enough that you can feel the resonance. But from a gameplay perspective, you want to make sure that things are broad enough that you don't lock people out of core mechanics. So when Magic the Gathering first came out, blue was the color that drew cards. That's it. They just drew cards. But as it turns out, the ability to draw additional cards and to pay resources to draw additional cards is so fundamental to a card game. The developers, as time went on, led by the absolute genius god-tier legend Mark Rosewater, tried to explore ways to make card draw make sense for these different colors. So, for instance, you might have something in green that says, if you control a big enough creature, draw a card. Or cast a spell and draw cards equal to the power of the largest creature that you have. Things like this. Tuneful Chatterbox, I'm going to come back to your question in a moment. So, one of those things that seemed fundamental to a card game is removal. The idea of killing a creature eliminating a thing on the battlefield. Black has destroy creature. Red has direct damage. Green has fight effects, or ideal damage from my creature to your thing. Blue has counter magic and bounce. They're the weakest at doing this, but they still have ways of doing it. And white typically has exile effects. These are known as prison effects. A prison effects is you are exiled until the prison is destroyed, and then that thing returns to the battlefield. So we saw lots of things of this, like, I almost said the Binding of Isaac. Whatever, sure. Binding of Isaac is an example of a prison effect, and also a roguelike game. What's a better example? Banishing Light is the one I was trying to say. Banishing Light, 3 mana, cast it, exile a thing. However, cards like this were starting to just not quite be good enough. And there was a lot of concern about White's overall power level in the last few years. That unless there was White Weenie, which is the classic aggressive White build, you didn't see a lot of White. Except for maybe a sweeper every now and again. So there have been a lot of really clever and interesting ways of trying to slowly improve some of White's power and capability, and making a lot of these enchantments flash, I think, is a really clever way to do so. The fact that Leyline Binding is flash means that you have a little bit more interactivity and planning and flexibility for the same emotional gameplay. You get the power of this exile effect for any non-land permanent, and you gain life, which is, again, very resonant, and flash for a little bit more flexibility. And this has been a fantastic direction change, and I think is like the perfect example of how to maintain the depth of the resonance while also not destroying good gameplay. And there was this brief question that came from Tuneful Chatterbox, says, resonance isn't the same thing as ludonarrative, because there isn't an overall story in the gameplay to Magic. I would just say that they're just different things. And I actually think that this game happens to have excellent ludonarrative resonance. So, for any of you that don't know this term, ludonarrative dissonance and ludonarrative resonance. Ludonarrative is the term. Ludo means gameplay, narrative means narrative. And it's about them working together. So, for instance, this Prayer of Binding, just imagine what you associate with prayer, what you associate with what binding means. The look and the visual of this matches the word here, matches this gameplay quality here. Oh, something is bound, and you heal a little bit because it's connected to the prayer, right? This is an example of them resonating. If this was Prayer of Binding, deal 4 damage to target creature, you'd go, oh, Prayer of Binding? Like, what's binding about that? Aren't you just shooting someone for 4? Where if you said Prayer of Storms, deal 4 damage to all creatures, that would be very, ludonarratively speaking, resonant. And when you're using that term, it's that the gameplay matches the narrative. The gameplay is resonant with the narrative. Which is a tiny subset of the overall idea of making things resonant. Which would be something like all white cards. What does that emotionally feel like? If, for instance, white cards had zombies and merfolk and tax accountants and huge guns, yes, you could make each one of those make sense and gameplay-wise be solid, but you'd look at that and you'd kind of go, I'm not getting the same resonant theme. I'm not getting a lot of relation, and it doesn't match some experience set I have in my head. Whereas, if you look at Black and Magic of zombies and vampires and murder and things coming back from the graveyard, each one of these feels connected to the other one. It's building on each other, and it's reminding you of haunted mansions, and things are sort of generating in your head. And I like the description of resonance is that, your brain comes preloaded with information. Darth Vader sounds like an evil person's name because Darth sounds like death and dark Darth, right? Like your brain comes preloaded. If your brain comes preloaded with a conception of what church and society and order looks like, whenever the white cards play into that, you get a kind of, ooh, that's great. So I really got to speed up. This card's excellent. Resolute Reinforcements, I think this is an amazing card. Flash, fuck yeah, happy to see it showing up more in white. This is exactly what I was using for my tokens list. I give it a 4 in standard. I think this is going to be an amazing, amazing card. Even defensively as a sideboard card in control lists, summoning a pair of Peckers. Runic Shot, destroy target tapped creature. The spell was kicked, scry 2. Oh, it's a sorcery? It's a draft card. Samite Herbalist. This is a common. Good. Making up time. Sarah Paragon. Hey, is Sarah Angela here? Is Sarah Paragon here? Are you Melania Blade of Mikola? We have 2 and a pair of whites for a 3/4 flyer, once during each of your turns. You may play a land card from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, it gains when this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, exile it, and you gain 2 life. Five. Do we have the first 5? Do we have our very first 5? This is amazing. This is just like a card draw Luris flyer. It's a 5 out of 5. It's Luris all over again. It's not permanent Luris, but it's a 5. Left one says it's a 3 out of 4. You're a 3 out of 4. C for you. This card's fucking insane, man. Flyers, 3/4 flyers. This is a really difficult toughness to deal with. And it's casting shit from the graveyard. Get the fuck out of here. Shalai's Acolyte. Oh, this is an amazing limited card. An amazing, amazing limited card. Thick Angels in this economy? 5/6? Oh, it's incredible. This is an amazing card. I love this card. I'd give it a 5 in limited. I think this is an absolute top-tier pickup. A 5 mana 3/4? 7 mana 5/6? I think you're going to be able to get there in the slowness of that format. Stall for time. An instant tap 2, put a stun counter on each of them. I actually think this might be constructed playable. Okay, I actually think that I can make a good Azorius control list, and this is going to be one of the cards. The fact that you can stun creatures, it's incredible. And it redraws, it replaces itself. Buying time is a lot of what I feel like you need to do when you're up against these obnoxious, hasty lists. Yeah, no, I'm going to give this a solid 3 out of 5. I'm excited to see this one in Constructed. In Limited, I had an amazing time with Stall for Time. I thought it was great. I don't know what this is. Is this the head, and he has this belt, or is this like the eye, and these are the teeth? I actually like to think that this is the head, and there's just a really dramatic lapel. Oh, a stun counter is, instead of tap those creatures, they don't untap during their next untap step. Instead, you get a stun counter, and then when they untap, you pop a stun counter off. And I think that they are amazing. Because now you actually have more interaction and more synergy, where when proliferate means add another counter that's there, you can like do more stuff in order to, or let me try it again. When you make a mechanic more interactive, counters, lots of things that say remove a counter, add a counter, proliferate, make extra counters, or counters can't be removed. More interaction, I think, is better. I think it's great. Take up the shield. Hey, it's the same shield as that unbelievable... Oh, no, there she is. There she is. She fell over. Oh, my God, look. It's the Avengers Endgame moment. 1 and a white, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Gains lifelink and indestructible until ends a turn. I'm going to give this a 0. I think this card is fucking trash. It's a terrible card. I look forward to having people run it in their white weenie decks, and for me still to say, they don't know what they're doing, this card's bad. Temporary lockdown. Well, it sure hasn't fucking felt very temporary, has it? 1 and a pair of whites. When temporary lockdown enters battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until temporary lockdown leaves the battlefield. I didn't realize I was 2 or less. I didn't realize all of us were fucking 2 or less. I mean, Gavin Newsom certainly... I guess he's a 3 mana value planeswalker or some bullshit. I don't even believe this. All right, well, I mean, it's a good card. It's a good card. Token decks eat shit. I don't know. I'm offended by this card. I'm offended by this card. White Weenie decks getting owned. This is an incredible delay card. Yeah, it's just really good. Urza assembles the Titans. 3 and a pair of whites. You can scry 4. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a Planeswalker card, put it into your hand. 2, you may put a Planeswalker card with mana value 6 or less from your hand to the battlefield. Oh, am I going to do an Azorius Planeswalker control? You may activate the loyalty abilities of Planeswalkers you control twice this turn, rather than only once. Yes, rather than only once. Oh my god. Albatross is holy F in an Urza reference in a standard format. 50 out of 5? Yeah, I'd give it a 50, man. Urza, I love Urza, man. Urza and Karn, man, those guys are my homies, man. I love those turds. Valiant Veteran. I don't know how to make sense of the Valiant Veteran. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1. Exile Valiant Veteran from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on each soldier you control. I mean, this reminds me a little bit of the Benelus Marshal, the 3-cost 3/3 that gives everything +1/+1. I mean, it's a 2-cost buff your soldier guy. I don't know. I think it's bound to be good, but I don't want to cast this turd. I don't want to do it. I'm not interested in the Valiant Veteran. It had read ahead. You're damn right it did. I think all the sagas in this have read ahead. Kimmer says, does the bribing with subs to reconsider cards work today? Yes, and in fact, that works any day I'm live, K-Maker. There's a lot of people that do sub-related things to, like, I'll draw your sub name on my forehead. I just will do anything you want. Okay, it just costs you 25 smackers. This card is probably going to be an excellent card standard. It has seemed fine in Limited. Wingmantle Chaplain, 3 and a white for a 0/3 defender. When it enters battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token for each creature with defender you control. Whenever another creature with defender enters the battlefield, make birds. So, let me get this narrative straight. Your statues gather birds. Is this a build around? Am I going green-white defender? I'm going to get so many birds. It seems fine. All right. Okay, hey, we did 40 cards in an hour. Dang it. All right, moving ahead. Academy Loremaster. A pair of blues for a 2/3 at the beginning of each player's draw step. That player may pay, and it may draw an additional card. If they do, spells they cast this turn cost 2 more to cast. Isn't this a 0? Isn't this the worst card that's ever been made? This is... Academy Loremaster is just all about chaos. Beginning of each player's draw step, that player may draw an additional card. If they do, spells they cast cost 2 more to cast. If your mana screwed, maybe great. I don't know. It's a 2/3 for 2. That doesn't make up for it. This is like a -5 out of 5. This is the worst card ever. You play it and your opponent goes, fuck yeah. Does whatever is optimal and then kills the Academy Loremaster. And this is ridiculous. Yeah, I guess you can... This isn't legendary, so you can have a lot of these. So you can really hurt yourself. Oh. Yeah, this card sucks, man. This card is bad. Don't draft this. Don't run this. Don't do this. Academy Wall. 0/5 defender. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Draft, drag, garbage nonsense. And you can see this huge rock going up. You know if you follow that rock up, you'll get to the Volcano Manor. Aether Channeler. When Aether Channeler enters the battlefield, you can either make a bird, bounce a guy, or draw. Once upon a time, I thought that there was that 3-cost black card that I revealed that I don't remember because it turned out to be terrible. It was like exile or draw a card and lose a life and all this stuff. I'm calling it. This card is a 0 out of 5. This is the hill I will die on. This card is not a good standard card. It's going to be fine in Limited. It's going to be fine in Limited. Infamous Eng Lives is Rewrite Academy Loremaster is the best card in the set. You didn't gift 5 subs, Infamous Engine Live. Look, we only, like, money greases the wheel, alright? Smear some of that cash on my noisy axle. He said hotly. Aether Channeler is... This card sucks. This card's terrible. This is the worst card. It's going to be fine in limited. It's going to be fine. But this is the 0 out of 5. 2 of these, bounce them back and forth. Yeah, you can bounce back and forth forever. Battlewing Mystic. Now this is the bird of the day right here. Look at this. Look at this absolute Thor-watching MCU bird. 1 in a blue for a 2/1. When Battlewing Mystic enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. What? 5! What is this? A 5? What? Not you, Despy. You're good. No, everything's fine. Oh, God. No, it's... This is a blue aggro card. Dude, is it aggro? Is on. Dude, literally, you have no cards in hand. You pay 3 mana, you get a flyer, and you draw 2. Like, what is this? This is insane. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Dude, Battlewing Mystic. This is a 5. This is a fucking 5. It's a Bird Wizard, too, which makes it a 6. I love this thing. This is incredible. Limited, I think it's also very, very, very good. I mean, honestly, getting a Battlewing Mystic down on turn 2 and just hitting in the face, great. Win condition. Combat Research. This is what you do when you're reading your favorite video game subreddit. Oh, my God. Ha, ha, ha. A single blue to enchant a creature. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. As long as enchanted creature is legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has ward 1. 5? 5? I've seen this card before. Is this a 5? Oh, K-Maker gifts 5 subs. What's up, K-Maker? What's up? What's up? Hey. You're gonna need to tell me. If you told me before, I didn't read it. Once the money's in hand, then I can smell the greens. Just trying. Rewrite Academy Loremaster is the best card. Oh, of course. Of course. All right. This is a good card. Let's talk through it. First of all, a 2/3 for 2, very good. Often you're not even playing creatures as a blue player, so when this pops down on turn 2, your opponent is just like, I'm sorry, what? Now, what they then get is what they think is a gift, right? What they think is a gift. They're going to get to draw an extra card, right? Now, I know all of us are absolute brutal capitalists. Imagine there's an employee that later on you want them to work too much. So they say, oh my God, okay, Maker, I'm exhausted. Can I go home early? And you go, no problem. You've earned it. But in reality, they earned it because they're going to do some shit in the future. They just don't even know. That's what's happening to the opponent, right? They draw those cards. They think something good's happened, right? Thinking something good's happening. Then they try to cast, wait a minute, oh my God, my cards, they're just so expensive. What happened? And you're like, inflation. And then you just let them draw another card. Don't worry about it. You've earned it. Guess what you got in your hand? Ruin crap. Some Tasha's Hideous Laughter. And all of a sudden, they just start churning through their library. The only reason that you won that game is because they drew that extra card once, not realizing it. There it is. This is a great card. Academy Loremaster. I mean, look. Hey, do you mind if I draw a card? And she turns around and is like, absolutely no problem at all, dick. You've earned it. Look at the malice and approval where you don't know if you received approval, even though you got approval. That's that sort of glare. I want to be having these in my deck. I don't want to be having you have them in your deck. This is like very scary to be. You don't want to be the boss. You want to be the owner. All right, so we're going to give that one a 5. Combat Research, this already exists and was a great card. Coral Colony, 1 and a blue. For a defender, target player mills X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control with defender. Oh my God. When you think Loremasters, the very next thing you think is Coral. So of course the Coral Colony is going to go well with the Loremaster. Milling and skilling, because you are the villain. Pronunciation notwithstanding. Coral Colony is trash. This is a trash card. We're gonna make this one work in limited though. We're gonna absolutely build that wall. And you might be thinking that's a reference to that fucking guy. No, it's a reference to Bastion. Ulubai says Mill is trash. We found the person that always loses to Mill, didn't we? We found you, Ulubai. We found you. Defiler of Dreams. Love the art on this one so much. Look at that Phyrexian bird of the day. 3 and a pair of blues for something that is just not good. This is not that good. This is not that good. I mean, limited, this card's fucking insane. This card sucks. This card is bad and constructed. I don't want to pay 5 mana for a 4/3 that will allow me to burn my own health. It's just not going to work in standard. In limited, though, any card that says, in this condition, draw a card, this shit's busted. That's why we gave the Academy Loremaster a 5. Djinn of the Fountain. Oh, Nox is going to be happy. Nox loves djinns and genies, man. 4 and a pair of blues for a 4 out of 4 flyer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, I get big. You can exile me. Or I can scry 1. Interesting card. Interesting card. This is very sticky. I think that there is a world in which I would have this as the win condition in an ultra control blue-white deck. Because anytime they try to target the Djinn of the Fountain, I exile it. Sweeper occurs, and then it lands back on there. I think this is great. I would give it a 5 in limited. I would give it probably... I mean, we get a 4 in limited. I'd probably give it a 3 in constructed. Seems great. Airtight Skarn. 1 and a pair of blues. Costs 1 less. If an opponent casts 2 or more spells this turn, counter target spell. It's going to be good. I mean, Airtight Skarn. I mean, anytime you have a counter spell with a little bit of upside for 3, it's just good. So this is also really nice because occasionally it's a 2 mana counter target spell. Yeah, so I think it's actually going to be solid. I think this is a 3. In limited, I never like counter spells. Essence Scatter. It's a common. This card sucks. We're not reviewing it. It's a common. Fucking trash. Founding the Third Path. 1 and a blue, read ahead. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand without paying its mana cost. 2, target player mills 4 cards. Oh my god, paths always make me think about Loremasters and Coral. Target player mills 4 cards. Exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Copy it. You may cast the copy. Oh my goodness. Is this card good? You can pay it for 2 and just cast zap something in your bin? Wow. I mean, this actually seems legit. This seems legit, man. Leggings to Sea and Modern, Little Blue Saga. Yeah, I'd give it a 2 in constructed. I'd give it a 0 in limited. I think this card's actually pretty good. Literally, being able to copy something is good. Filling your own graveyard is good, because it's target player, not opponent. And this, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell that's cheap without paying its mana cost. There's a lot of good removal spells where you play Founding the Third Path, instantly zap someone, fill your bin, they take a turn, then it's the new turn. And then you, like, cast one of those things in your graveyard. Yeah, this is like the flashback cost is the card's cost plus 2. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I'd actually give this a 3 in constructed. We're definitely going to make some garbage here. Frost Fist Strider. He's like, this is what the guy at the bar is like when he buys the girl a drink. But I did everything I was supposed to do. Why aren't you talking to me? This artwork is hilarious. I love this artwork. All right, 3. It's a 5-mana ward for 4/4. Oh, when Frostfist Strider enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. 5 in limited. This card is amazing. This is an unbelievable defensive card. This is an unbelievable defensive card. You smash it down. It's hard to remove. It has 4 toughness. It taps and stuns at things. Get out of here. Yeah, this is great. This card is complete Drek in Constructed, but whatever. Hottie Jin. Oh. Hey, Hottie. 3-cost Jin. Hottie's Jin. Power is equal to the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This is going in the mono blue aggro. There's going to be a mono blue aggro, maybe splashing red. It's going to have that fucking bird. It's going to have a whole bunch of cheap, shitty counters. It's going to have that enchantment that whenever you deal combat damage, draw a card. I mean, this is an amazing card. This is going to show up in Standard. I'm going to give it a 4. It's not going to get a 5 because it's only going to show up in that one deck. What a hottie Jin. What a hottie Jin. A hottie Figment. Let's see. A 2/1 Vigilance. Can't be blocked as long as you've cast it. And Impede Momentum. 1 and a blue. Oh my god. Is this Azel from the opening cinematic of Panzer Dragoon Saga? Tap target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. Scry 1. This is actually... This is a great time buying card. But it's common, we're not going to rate it. We have places to be. Alright, it's been an hour since I began, and we've done 53 cards. Feels pretty good. Impulse. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom in any order. Probably pretty good. Probably pretty good. I mean, I really think that this art is unbelievable. It reminds me of the art on Negate. I mean, this is just spectacular. I also like that the circles are not quite perfectly circular. That's really good art. I think this is actually a really good card. Looking at the top 4 at instant speed, if you have anything that involves procs for spells and stuff like this, I think it's actually pretty slick. Joint Exploration. Scry 2, then draw a card. If the spell was kicked, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. 5? Did I find my blue ramp? Did I find my new blue ramp card? Oh my god. Simic, isn't it? It's time to ramp Aroni in the pepperoni, man. It's growth spiral that's costed properly. I do declare. I do declare. All right, I'm going to give this a 4. No, I'm going to give it a 5 in Constructed because I love this shit. In Limited, I'd give it a 0. I hate this shit. Micromancer. Hey, look, it's you whenever I'm playing a game. Didn't he punt? I think he did. Allow me to get my keyboard. Punt. Ah, yes, the whole message is needed. All right, Micromancer, 3 and a blue for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an instant or sorcery card with mana value 1. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. Terrible. Really bad. Terrible. Awful. 0. 0. I compared it to you when you were criticizing me. Oh, dude, I love this. Look at all this punt baiting. Look at all this punt baiting. Look at all you getting timed out. Because about punt, timed out, get out of here. We have a bot. Anytime someone says the word punt, they just get automatically timed out. It feels so good. Oh my god. This is like putting up a no skateboarding sign. All y'all just reach for your decks. Here we go. Get out of here for 5 seconds. All right, Micromancer. This card seems really bad in all formats. Looking for 1 mana, and honestly, I played fine. I don't know why you're being so critical. Negate. It's a common. It's not good. We're not going to review it. The Phasing of Zhalfir. The Phasing of Zhalfir. Oh, no. Oh, no. Are you trying to get around the rules with punt? Yeah, I looked at this and it was like a total punt. Let's go ahead and just... Let's go. Oh, 6 timeouts. Wow. Wow, someone's getting coal from Santa this year. All right, Phasing of Zhalfir. Read ahead. Another target non-land permanent phases out. Can't phase in for as long as you control the Phasing of Zhalfir. Destroy all creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates 2/2 black Ferexian creature token. So, Duke says, wait, since when does blue get destroyed? Blue has always had access to transformation. So the idea being that if you have a, turn a creature into a frog, the way it's written is, destroy target creature, its controller summons a 3/3 frog, that sort of thing. So this is transforming things into black Phyrexian creature tokens. I don't know, it seems bad. But we'll probably try to make it work. We'll probably try to make this work. This seems good. Seems all right. This is a terrible card, but I'm going to make it work. Another target on-land permanent phases out. It can't phase in. Yeah, this card is now a 3/3 elk. Phyrexian Espionage. 2 and a blue. This is the same bird as was in the Dark Crystal. Draw 2 cards. If the spell is kicked, each opponent discards a card. Pretty cool. Sorcery speed, 0. 0 out of 5 in all formats. Pixie Illusionist, 1 blue for a 1/1. Kick it for a bunch. If it was kicked, it enters a little bit bigger. Target land you control becomes the basic land type of your choice until the end of turn. This is someone trying to turn domain into a thing. It's not going to happen. Protect the Negotiators. Fucking people with MBAs, am I right? No, you have to understand how important I am. Protect us at all costs. 1 in a blue. If the spell was kicked, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each creature you control. Shit. This card is going to be fucking insane in that blue tempo list. It's a 2-mana counter. You're not even going to need it for the kicker. It's incredible. Oh, it's counter spell unless control pays 1 for each creature you control. So it's always going to be 0 unless you have a creature. All right. All right. Very well. Still, I'd give this a 5 in Constructed. A little bit lower in Limited, but still fine in Limited. Rona's Vortex. A single blue to kick for a little bit more. Return target creature or planeswalker you don't control to its owner's hand. Spell is kicked. Put that permanent on the bottom of its owner's library or instead. Oh, so this is bounce a creature or dunk a creature. Yeah, this is expensive. This is good in Limited, but this is not exceptional in Constructed. Again, I like seeing the Phyrexian mana symbol. That's pretty sweet. Shore up. Is he wearing sunglasses? He has little sunglasses. He's like looking around. He's so cute. Oh my god. Target creature controls +1/+1 and gains hexproof and it'll turn and tap it. Oh my god, dude. Mono blue tempo is going to be such a fucking list. It's going to be such a list, dude. Oh my god. Are there any 1/1 flyers? I mean, I guess there's this one, huh? Jesus, this might actually just be it. Yeah. Jesus. Shore up. Hexproof it. Silver Scrutiny. X, blue. You may cast Silver Scrutiny as though it had flash. If X is 3 or less, so 5 mana to draw 3 cards. Or more. Very clever card. Very, very clever card. I think I can see this in a Simic ramp list. I can Simic ramp with Silver Scrutiny. I'm spending so much of my time and energy putting more lands onto the battlefield that being able to use X as a very large number is going to be awesome. I think this is going to be a 4 in Constructed. Control lists will absolutely want like 2 of these. 1 or 2 of these. Just wait till end of turn, pay 5, draw 3. Amazing. Or if you are really low on resources, deep into a Azorius control list, great, X equals 10. I'm Sphinx's Revelation all over again. Soaring Drake. No, not reviewing you. Get out of here. I do think dinosaurs are cool, though. Sphinx of Clear Skies. 3 and a pair of blues for a 5/5 flying ward 2. Wow. Whenever Sphinx of Clear Skies deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among land cards you control. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put one pile into your hand and the other into the graveyard. So this is a flying, protected 5/5 that can let us draw. Nice. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It actually seems alright. Seems alright. Ward 2 is remarkably annoying. I almost prefer the Djinn because it can phase itself out, but this draws every time it deals damage to you. That's great. Talas, look out! 2 and a pair of blues for a 3/2 flyer. When Talas Lookout dies, put the top 2 cards of your... Look at the top 2, put one of them into your hand, the other into your graveyard. Seems fine. It's just a limited card, limited Drek. Tide Pool Turtle, a 5. I don't care what the rest of the text says. Look at this turtle. Look at this turtle. This turtle absolutely snacks on strawberries and tells babes they can just absolutely dunk for a day in his bathtub. I mean, look at that shit, man. No, come on in. No, look. Oh, you want bubbles? Hold on, let me just blow my nose. Turn that shit into a jacuzzi? Hell yeah, Tide Pool Turtle. This is a 5. Reading the text of this card has really done nothing but let me down. But, I mean, this is sweet art. This bathtub is absolute. I mean, let me tell you. Wouldn't you love, after the end of a long week, to climb into your turtle's bathtub and just go around town? Just chilling in there? I mean, it's amazing. Bathtub? Gross? What? It's just a bathtub. Think it gets mildewy in that hole? Timely interference, a single blue that can be kicked for a wee bit more. Target creature gets smaller, and then that creature blocks this turn if able. Draw a card. This is a weird card because the effect of making a creature block this turn if able means you have to do it before blockers. So it's almost like there's a sorcery speed component to an instant speed card. I think this is actually a solid one. And oh, it's common? Oh, I'm not reviewing this garbage. But this seems very good and limited. Tolarian Geyser. Oh, yeah. 2 and a blue. Kicker white. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Draw a card. If the spell is kicked, you gain life. It's sorcery speed. Who cares? Tolarian Terror. This gets smaller under conditions. It's a 0 out of 5. Vesuvian Diplomacy. I almost said a different word every single time. I wanted to say Vesuvian Diplomacy, but this is Vesuvian Diplomacy. It's an enchantment. That's a mythic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that artifact or creature, except it's not legendary. I'm going to give this one a 5. I'm going to build some fucking turbo stupid shit with this. I'm going to build the dumbest shit of all time. Fuck yeah, man. Dude, I will target a single artifact and creature. And then I will make many tokens. Grey Letter just gifted us 5. Grey Letter says, please rate Vesuvian Diplomacy highly. As a Dota 2 hero, with Alchemist being the worst and Disruptor being the best. I lost track. That your sentence got away from me. Can you rephrase this, Grey Letter? We're not advancing until you truly explain what your request is. You want me to rate Vesuvian Diplomacy as a Dota hero? You know what? All right. I'm going to rate this as a Dota ability. How about that? Okay, so wait. Let me make sure I understand this ultimate correctly. If an enemy targets you, create a copy of you that you control that also responds, except it doesn't level up anymore. I mean, that's a fucking sweet idea. Can you imagine an Ultimate where anytime anyone casts a targeted ability on you, you just get another one of you? And the counter is just you don't cast any fucking spells on the hero. I mean, come on. Like, people already avoid the Lincoln's carrier, right? Like, why would we not do the same thing for this Vesuvian Diplomacy ability on the Diplodocus? Would be the name of the hero. I mean, that is actually so funny. Because, like, I just want to note, That is a great example of an ability that I'm certain that someone who's created like custom Dota heroes, because there's like a site where you can like look up people's custom Dota heroes and they can submit art and write how the abilities work and how it scales. And I mean, you go on there and there are just ideas that are just like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Like, I'm not saying that there isn't gameplay here, but it's fucking weird. Like, again, like, if someone targets you with a spell, clone your spell, so now you control two heroes and they both fucking respawn, but this one doesn't level up anymore, because that's what makes it fucking fair. And the gameplay is you never cast any spells on this guy, and if you do, you have, like, fucked up. And so what you want to do is you want to try to go to creeps that have targeted abilities to target you, so you can get duplicated, and then there's 100 of you. And at no point in time did you uninstall Dota and then reinstall fucking Age of Empires 2, where that's how that game works all the time anyways. Like, oh my god, it's so good. I give this one a 0. Vodacy Scavenger. It's a common. Vidalian Hexcatcher. 1 and a blue. Other merfolk you control get huge. Sacrifice a merfolk. Counter target non-creature spell. Unless its controller pays 1. Mono blue tempo is going to be so fucking annoying. Oh my god, it's going to be so annoying. Urgh. God. Mono blue tempo, for any of you who don't know, the way that mono blue tempo works can actually be encapsulated by looking at Vidalian Hexcatcher's text. This is a 1/1 with flash. So what do? I wait, and then I flash in a 1/1 at the end of turn 2. So now it's my turn 3. I play another island. I have 3 islands now. I peck you for 1. Your turn, you cast a spell. Counter spell! My turn. I play a 4th island. I attack you for 1. Your turn. You play a spell. Counter spell! Flash in another 1/1. Peck you for 1. Then peck, peck, peck. It's just like fucking obnoxious pecking. Now, the fact that this happens to give other merfolk +1/+1 is not really that relevant. Largely, Vidalian Hexcatchers in the meta will be buffing each other. But it's the fact that you can sack to counter spells for 1. Just the worst. Just the worst. I mean, playing as mono blue tempo is insane. It is almost like someone has, say, toenail clippers as a murder weapon, and outside of that are indestructible. And they just toenail clip you to death. Like, it's just horrible. I hate being against it. Amazing Chess says, I thought Sean loved peckers. I really do, don't I? Vidalian Mindsinger, 1 and a pair of blues for a 2/2 to kick a bunch. Enters battlefield with counters for each time it was kicked. When Vidalian Mindsinger enters battlefield, gain control of target creature with power less than Vidalian Mindsinger's power for as long as you control Vidalian Mindsinger. I think I've found my Simic ramp, baby. Give me control of your stuff. I mean, this card's a 0 because it is just garbage. This is not a good card in Constructed. It's just so inefficient, sorcery speed. But we're going to make it work. Voshatide Turner, 1 and a blue. Oh, yep, I know this one. This is just filler Drek. Nice. We're on to black. We've done 78 cards pretty quickly. I've been pretty pleased with my pace. Aggressive Sabotage. 2 and a black for target player discards 2 cards. If the spell is kicked, it deals 3 damage to that player. Hey, Mind Rot, eat your heart out. Mind Rot is the absolute most degraded card in all of Magic. There are nothing but 3 mana discard 2 cards that are better than Mind Rot, and this is yet another one to add to the list. Oh my god, this is like a well-ordered set, you know, like, and Mind Rot is the smallest element. Balduvian Atrocity. Hey! 2 and a black for a kicker. When Balduvian Atrocity enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Card's great. It's just great. Just great. Yeah. The ability to return stuff from the grave. Rakdos has a lot of sacrifice effects. There's a lot of on-death effects as well. So, you know, Rakdos already has Obnixilis. Seems like a good booster. Oh, Sarah Angela. Hello. Hello, Melania Blade of Mikola. Good to have you here. Gifted 5 subs. What do you really want me to do, Sarah? Well, tell me. Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. Please, tell me what you want. what you really, really want. And I'll stop that song there. Oh, God. Let's see. Please go back and reread Griffin Protector as a 5 out of 5 and wax eloquently about how gorgeous its arms are. Imagine you're in the club. You've had a good amount to drink. The music is loud. You're in your element. You're feeling it. And you have been dancing with someone that just feels so great to be close to, you know? I mean, there's flashing lights. It's dark, alternating. Your eyes are closed because you're feeling the music. But my God, the curves of this fucking abomination in front of you just feel so good. Suddenly, the clock strikes 4. The closer concludes. The lights turn on, and before you is this hot collection of limbs, fur, and feathers. This gorgeous mutant thing looks down at you and makes a noise. You can't tell if it's a caw or a bark or if it's the gurgling last breath of a dying corpse. And that Griffin Protector says, "You want to go back to my place?" And then its 2 little arms come out and grab you by your lapels and sort of to pull you in as its beak begins to nuzzle your forehead, okay? You can feel its hoofs clopping along on the floor of the club. And you're just sitting there going, I'm getting laid tonight, aren't I? You're so excited. You can't wait. You think the story's going to end. It doesn't. You clippy-clop your way back to an Uber. They get in. And the Uber goes, "Are you a mutant, Griffin?" And the Griffin goes, "Oh yeah, that's me." Tries to sit down and buckle the seatbelt across 2 seats, its body folding in weird, twisted ways. It looks like a Wetzel's pretzel sitting next to you in the Uber. You're so horny because you know you're getting laid tonight, okay? And when you make it back to the Griffin Protector's place, where the Griffin is just, again, like, putting one weird claw thing on the small of this back, one other mutant claw thing on the small of this back, holding you close, that tail coming up from between you and caressing the small of your back. Like, literally, it's like a love diaper that you're getting right there. And it looks back and it says, "Before we enter into my room, before we go into my apartment, I need you to know something." And you go, "Anything." You're a little bit breathy because you're so much anticipation. And the Griffin Protector leans to your ear and says, "Sean rated me a fucking 5 out of 5. You orgasm immediately. Immediately. Your vision goes black. The curtains are drawn. End scene. All right, let's get back to the card review. All right, that was good. All right, let's see here. All right, didn't need any of that. Well, there you go. Like, no, let me tell you, we accept bribes. Battle Rage Blessing, 1 in a black. Target creature gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. It's a common. We don't rate those. Battlefly Swarm. Tawnier. Tawnier just gifted 5 subs. What do you need, Tawnier, man? Let me tell you. Like, the bribes are better than the reviews. Randomino says, "How much to unhear that?" Oh, it's just 5 subs. Tawnier says, "No bribes, I just couldn't stop laughing." That's good, that's good. Because keep in mind, I said all of that shit silently, alone in my room. I have no feedback at all. I'm just like, I don't know, feels funny to me, and I just keep talking. Oh my God. All right, let's just, let's keep going. This card's bad. Battlefly Swarm, I'm into this guy. This is a 1-mana Death Toucher that also can peck. And as you know, I love peckers and weird little claws that come out like that and pull you by the lapels. I think a Battlefly Swarm is going to be one of these cards that you pick because you're feeling like you want an early blocker to make the game go on long, but will actually wind up being something that could probably do an acceptable amount of damage over the course of a game. Blight Pile, that's this card review. This is a 3/3 defender. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creatures with defender you control. Oh my god, is there a Defender control list with birds? Oh! Oh my god, Defender control. Defender control. This is going to end games. This card is very good, actually. I'm going to rate this like a 4 in Limited. I'm going to try to make it work in Constructed, but this is good. 3/3 for 2. Shuts a lot of stuff down. Eventually wins the game. That's great. Bone Splinters. A classic. Sack a creature, kill a creature. Amazing. This is an amazing Limited card. Don't sleep on it. Look, it's you in the club listening to all the music. You can't really see very well. There's nothing but green and white lights as your weird scully face emerges into the darkness. Braids, a Risen Nightmare. Is this someone who had braids, had a hard time with the upkeep, and just said, I'm naming a card after my experience? Like, I think that's what Braids, a Risen Nightmare might be. 1 double black for 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. This is a obnoxious card, because you can play this in a white-black sort of grindy Orzhov list. You can sack your 1/1s, sack your creatures that have on-death effects that are good, and against a lot of lists, it will either clear the path, or you'll draw a card and keep advancing forward. I mean, this is really nice. Yeah, you can sack blood and treasure tokens to just deal damage and draw more cards. I think this is going to be just a spectacular Rakdos edition. I'm really excited about Braids. I'm really excited about Braids. I'll give it a 5. I think this card's going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. Braids' frightful return. Oh my god, are you worried about Braids' frightful return? Oh my god, no, I would meet up with you, but I'm gonna go to Braids' later. Braids' frightful return. Oh, look at this art. Oh my god, this looks like the art that the teacher shows the kid's parents and says, I'm concerned about John. Alright, read ahead. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, each opponent discards a card. Ooh! Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Ah. Target opponent may sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. If they don't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Ah. This is just a great card. I think this is great. I'm going to give it a 4. Because sacking a creature to get a little bit of card advantage, returning those back to your hand, and then another opportunity to draw another card. Yeah, this just seems obnoxious. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. 3 in Constructed. I'm going to at least try it. This seems great. I think Read Ahead is also really nice. Yeah. Choking Miasma. A 3-mana sweeper that can occasionally save a guy. This is a 3-mana sweeper. I'm sure it'll show up in a Constructed list. It's a 1. It's very good in Limited, like a 5. Cruelty of Gix. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then shuffle. You lose 3 life. What? Just look for a card? Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Ooh. Oh my god. Dude, can you imagine like a mono brown list that runs black mana just for some Gixen? Just for some Gixen stuff? Man, Elspeth Conquers Death was able to return any creature card under your control. Oh, it's like really good. I like this. And find any card. Ooh. So this This, I will say, this does seem a little awkward, because it's not any card. It has to be a creature or planeswalker. This is a lot to just not do that much. Tutoring for a card, great. Resurrecting a card, great. I mean, you literally just pay 5 and just return a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's really good. You can also Cruelty of Gix, go to Chapter 2, and then just get another Cruelty of Gix. I think this is good. iMath it says rate this card to 5, and you gifted 5 for it? iMath it. I actually think I just agree with your assessment. I actually just think I agree with your assessment. Cruelty of Gix looks like exactly the kind of card that I would be interested in running. Like a mono-black, enchantment-driven, discard, tutor, obnoxiousness deck. You know what? I will give it a 5. I give it a confident 5. I give it 2 fully extended thumbs up 5. And given how wide this camera lens is, you know, it really makes me look a little weird. Yeah, Eldest Reborn is pretty cool. And Cruelty of Gix is kind of like an Eldest Reborn. You know, it's a little bit Eldest Reborn-y, a little bit Eldest Reborn-y. And iMath gives 2 more. Thanks, iMath. We appreciate that. Cult Conscript. Black for a 2/1 that's tapped. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if a non-skeleton creature died under your control this turn. 5? 5 in constructed. Dude, 1 mana, 2/1s that come back from the dead. Shit is a 5. This is a 5. This is a 1. This is a 5. I really like this. This is conditionally a 5. This guy does look a little uncomfortable with his cosplay. You can tell the Cult Conscript is trying to pose as best it can. It's its first con where he's gone as a cosplay. Sword's a little bit heavy, and the hair is kind of getting a little tangled up in his feet. But, you know, I'd still give it a 5. Yeah, Gutter Bones. Oh, yeah, Butter Groans. Yeah, I like Gutter Bones. I'd give this a 5. This is going to show up in Constructed. Cut Down. Is it possible to give something an 11? This is the best card in this entire fucking set. This is the best card in this entire fucking set. It doesn't hit 3/3s, that's true. But this is an excellent card to run 2 of. This is the best card in the set. Destroy target creature with total power and toughness 5 or less. Now, the funny thing is, this can't kill a 3/3. Or a 2/4. But it can kill a 1/4, a 2/3, a 3/2, a 4/1, a 0/5, a 2/2, a 2/1, a 1/2, a 1/1, and so on. I think this is great. I think this is a 5. This is just one of the best cards ever. Instant speed. It's ridiculous. iMathed it just gives 5 subs. What do you need, iMathed it? It's no Fatal Push. Yeah, Fatal Push is sick. Slightly inconvenient push. iMathed is rated a 0. All right. Let's go back here. Cult Conscript. This is definitely going to be a 5. Let's go ahead and check out the next one. Oh, a 1 mana instant. Let's read on. Destroy target creature with total power and toughness 5 or less. Well, hold on. After turn 3, you never get to cast this spell? Am I reading this correctly? After turn 3, you never get to cast this spell again? I mean, come on. Can you imagine having a cut down and seeing your opponent play a 4/4, and I have the ability to do Bloodchief's Thirst for 1 to kill it, but I can't do a cut down? You know, it's funny. I was kind of jokingly doing that. This card actually is probably not as good as I say it is. I think you might want 2 of these. I think you might want 2 of these and put them in the sideboard. Maybe 1 of these. Yeah, actually, there's going to be a lot of situations where this thing is just a dead card, huh? Thanks for those gifted subs. You forced me to think about any perspective except the very first knee-jerk gut reaction I had, and I think I learned something. Better get on Twitter and never do that shit again. All right. Defiler of Flesh. 2 and a pair of blacks for a menace 4/4. As an additional cost to cast black permanent spells, you may pay 2... Oh, one of these ones. Whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1 against menace till end of turn. Nope. Don't want it. Don't care for it. Not interested in it. Well, maybe in a mono black aggro list. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's that good. I mean, casting a permanent to give a dude menace, it might be a little bit finishery. I think in limited this is going to be relatively sick. Relatively sick, but not especially, just like a little bit. Yeah, I mean, the paying life to reduce black mana cost is actually probably a better way to Phyrexianize this. But, you know, look at this horse that's in here. It's just like, oh, I didn't want to be in the photograph. The art is great. I love that sort of grotesque stuff. Like a lot. Oh, I see. This is a Pegasus down here, and then the Defiler of Flesh is just sitting on top of it. It's on a horse. Dragged to the bottom. All right. I already love this image and text. Let's read what the rest of it is. 2 and a pair of blacks for sorcery. Each creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is 1+ the number of basic land types among lands you control. Esper Sweepers. Ooh, I'm going to rate this an Ali Eldrazi out of 5. I mean, this is good. This is very, very good. So if I'm 3 color, and I hit drag to the bottom, I am -4/-4ing, which is a good number. Kronak says they really are trying to make Domain a thing, eh? Well, you know, I feel like it is in their interest to make the mechanics that they create playable. I don't know. I think that's like pretty fucking reasonable if you think about it. I don't know. I actually like the idea of being in a meeting where people are going, I think we should add Domain. And someone's like, you better make it suck a lot. We don't want anyone buying and playing this shit. So I think Drag to the Bottom is okay. I think I'm going to give it a solid 2. This is 2s across the board. In limited, though, this is a 7 out of 5. This is amazing. Eerie Soul Tender. When Eerie Soul Tender, blah, blah, I'm a common card, and you can get me turned into a creature. This is an alright card. Evolved Sleeper. That's weird. Evolved Sleeper becomes a human cleric. Evolved Sleeper is a cleric. Put a death touch counter on it. Becomes a Phyrexian human cleric. Base power 3/3. Evolved Sleeper is Phyrexian. Put a +++ counter on it. Then you draw a card, then you lose 1 life. Nice. So these are the Phyrexian Sleepers that were being talked about earlier, where you get captured, Phyrexianized. Oof. Wait, what is the name of... Oh, crap. Okay, I'm going to need to go through a long chain of things to remember the name of this. The dude that did District 9. What was the name of that? The dude that did District 9. Who's the director? Neil Blomkamp. Okay, Neil Blomkamp created a production company that made short stories. What's the name of that thing? All right. Oats Studios. That's right. Because when I read it, I was like, Oats? And the first one that they did that had Sigourney Weaver in it. What was that one called? Yeah, it was Sigourney Weaver. What was that one called? Not Leave It to Weaver, not that one. What was the Oat Studios produced? Oh yeah, Raka, that's what it was. This reminds me of Raka. Whoa, what a fun trip we went on together. All right, well, we're home. Hop out of the car. Yeah, any of you that haven't seen Raka, it is on Netflix, I think. And it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's a nice little short story. Very grim. Very devastating. Evolved Sleeper I actually think is probably going to be a highly rated card from me. A 1-mana 1/1 that can just get bigger and bigger and bigger and let you draw cards and get huge. Yeah, no, I actually rate this pretty highly. This'll be in one of those skeleton decks. Extinguish the Light. Destroy a creature planeswalker. If it's tiny, get healthy. This is a limited card. Gibbering Barricade. I kind of think Defender Control is going to be something good. This is going to be one of them. Sack a creature, gain a life, draw a card, sack some defenders, like that one plant defender that lets you get a land. I'm into this shit, man. I love this Gibbering Barricade. I love this Gibbering Barricade. Knight of Dusk's Shadow. Oh my god, we have a white and a black knight again. I love it. It's 2 mana 2/2 with Menace. Your opponent can't gain life. Knight of Dusk's Shadow gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Oh my gosh, I'm going to give it a flavor out of 5. I'm going to give it a flavor out of 5. It's great. I just love cards like this that are just... I am an iconic knight in this color. This is great. This is great. I love knights. This is incredible. I have to remind you all that What the Deck is returning on September 26th. Me versus Brian Kibler in a battle of double versus nothing. It's a battle of double versus nothing. Cards that have double in the name or duplicate shit versus cards that have like no or you can't or like no permanents or no colors. We're going to do double versus nothing in the next What the Deck. And if you want more information about the format and the theme and stuff like that, go to our Discord, discord.gg/day9tv, and go to that submissions channel. Double versus nothing. I love that. It's a good concept. We have some really stupid other concepts like that. I was suggesting after the set drop to Eric that we do Phyrexians versus birds. Who is more powerful? The horrors of Phyrexia or birds? That's such a good idea. Such a good idea. And you know what Eric said? Eric said we should probably wait till there's more Phyrexians released. Like, I don't think that there's a lot of birds, but I think we need more Phyrexians. And I was like, that's fair. We need to be able to flesh out Phyrexians versus birds. We'll circle back with Eric. We'll circle back. Liliana of the Veil. I can't see this card ever getting run. I just can't see it ever being good. Yeah, I mean, a 3-mana Planeswalker where an opponent does what? Sacks a creature? I mean, I can't imagine this one ever getting run. Oh my god, each player discards a card? Bad, 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 bad. Okay, let's read the -6. Read the -6. Separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. That player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of their choice. Just to be clear, this is one of the most famous Planeswalkers of all time. This is a 5. This is an unbelievable, exceptional Planeswalker. Recurring discard. I mean, this card is like legitimately fucking nutso. I want to make a control list with Lily of the Veil. Like this is bringing back such delightful, nostalgic vibes. I'm just thinking to myself, why don't I just make a traditional Golgari list? Because like Golgari lists that kind of emphasize and focus heavily on just graveyard interaction and discard and all this stuff. I mean, it's incredible. I haven't had one of those in so long. This is a 5. This is an absolute 5 out of a billion. Jund is back on the menu. Yeah, I want some more fair cards. Monstrous Warleech. Oh, yes. Can kick it for a blue as Monstrous Warleech enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, mill 4 cards. Monstrous Warleech's power and toughness are each equal to the highest mana value among cards in your graveyard. 0 out of 5. This card's trash. It's just absolute garbage. Phyrexian Rager. 5. Phyrexian Rager is very good. Phyrexian Rager is very good. 2/2 for 3 that draws a card and loses life. Very, very good. And beautiful art for it. Very splotchy. Phyrexian Vivisector. Again, reminds me of Neil Blomkamp, who created Oat Studios and created the short story Raka, starring Sigourney Weaver. This guy reminds me of that. 1 into black for 2/2. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1. I'm not going to review this. Phyrexian Warhorse. 3 and a black. Oh, and it makes a thing. Yeah, this is just a horse, and you also get to keep the 1/1 soldier that was kicked off its back. That's kind of clever, huh? It's kind of clever, huh? This is like if Tim Burton and Pixar did a collaboration. 1 and a black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is a good card. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, this is a good card. I don't think it's that great in Limited, but in Constructed, I'd be happy to run a Pilfer or two. Run some Duresses and Pilfers. The Raven Man. The Raven Man? The Raven Man. The Raven Man, 1 and a black for a 2/1. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discard a card this turn, create a 1/1 black bird creature token with flying in. This creature can't block. 3. Each opponent discards a card, activating only as a sorcery. Holy shit. Am I going to do a Raven Man Black Bird Control Liliana list? Yeah. Yeah, I fucking am. The Raven Man. The Raven Man? The Raven Man. Yeah, this is not a very good card. I would give this a 1 out of 5 in Constructed. This card is trash. The Raven Man looks so cool before he is eliminated by any creature. This is not a good card. I like birds. Don't get me wrong on that one. I think birds are one of my favorite things, actually. I was trying to find the noun category, and it's just nouns. It's one of my favorite nouns. I love it. Rimbowski says, that's Lim Duel, by the way. Oh, really? How Lim cool. Why is Day 9 just so needlessly confrontational? This guy sucks so much. Oh, God. Demeritus just gifted 5 subs. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do, Demeritus. 5 subs gifted. We're on hold. Hey, Dr. Ants. Good to see you again. Let me stretch a little bit. Let me work some of those missiles. Demeritus, did you just gift 5 subs because you're just sweet? Oh. Demeritus says, re-rate Evolved Sleeper as if it was Jade Golems from Hearthstone. Well, anything for $25. Alright, let me drink some water.
Whenever I evaluate a Magic the Gathering card, one of the things that's always so disappointing is that every man stays the same. Every single man. You summon it, there it is, goes to the graveyard, it's the same thing but there now. Until I saw Evolved Sleeper. You start out, okay? It's a 1/1 for 1. And then when you pay 1, you summon an even larger man. And then you pay 1 in a black. Oh. Oh. You'll summon.
Fuck. I can do this. I can get through this.
Pay 2. Oh. Summon an even larger man. And then, as if it already wasn't good enough, one more time, you thought things came in 3s? Oh, 4 is the new 3, baby, because Evolved Sleeper, one final time you can summon an even larger man. Oh! It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, this card is still pretty good. What's that voice even from? It's from me, Sean Plot, 2022. Let's see, where are some other cards? Singular Connoisseur. Hi, I'm a Singular Connoisseur. You know, I assume Sengir related to the same word root as sanguine or something like that. 3 and a pair of blacks for whenever anything happens, get big, but not too big. Oh, I mathed it. Gifted 5 subs. Thanks so much, I mathed it. Good to have you here. Good to have you here to turn on the bribes. It says, choking my asthma, ASMR. Is that a request, or are you sharing that with me? Like, do you need us to call an ambulance? Are you like gifting 5 subs because you want enough attention to be able to have us on your behalf call 911? Because if that's the case, I didn't quite hear you. I'll need another 5. Is it working? Because like either it works and I hear you and we get that ambulance, or it's not my problem anymore. So, you know, I don't know, yeah. I'm glad we're keeping you happy. I'm glad we're keeping you happy. All right, Singer Connoisseur sucks. That's good. Getting through that one. Oh, what a gamer response. Yeah, gifting 5, staying alive. The most literal ever. Thanks, Master Zimbu. Shadow Prophecy, 2 and a black. Domain, look at I'm not reading this. Shadow Right Priest, 1 and a black. Other clerics you control get a little bigger. I'm a cleric lord. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, look at the size of this guy's brain. He must have a lot of karma on Reddit. Look at this. Sack another cleric, search your library for a black creature card. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Oh my god. That's really good. Oh my god. I mean, barring that's a huge round cantaloupe-shaped head, this card's good. You can pay 5 mana to get like a 7 mana demon, which is what happened to me yesterday. Shadow Right Priest. Oh, Resurrection Commencing. Oh, yes. For just a black creature card and put it onto the battlefield. Damn. Let's get some big boys out there. I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 5 in constructed, because you know someone's gonna try to make this work, but it just ain't gonna. Sheoldred. Do you ever sometimes eat a Sheoldred to cry on? Sheoldred. Or is this like, a Dutch kind of EO with the little dot pair above that? Is it the Sheoldred? Sheoldred. Or is it Sheoldred? Oh yeah, Sheoldred. Good old Sheoldred. The Apocalypse. 2 and a pair of blacks for a 4 or 5 Death Toucher. Whenever you draw a card, you gain life. When your opponent draws cards, they lose a life. Oh my god. The synergy with our 2 mana blue 2/3 Loremaster. Amazing. Sheoldred. Oh, my back. Sheoldred. The Apocalypse. Sheoldred is Jaya. Really? Jaya. The old red planeswalker. Sheoldred. Okay. This card is very solid. It's a 5 mana, excuse me, a 4 mana, 4/5, which is an incredible stat line. Just deals some more burn damage. Looks good. Mono black seems like it'll do some goodness there. Sheoldred's Restoration. Sheoldred's Restoration Hardware. 3 and a black for a return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh. If the spell is kicked, gain life equal to the card's mana, otherwise lose that much life. Exile Sheoldred's Restoration. These kinds of reanimation spells are always high value. I really like these kinds of things. And I think that this is the kind of pickup that is particularly good if you had like a bomb creature early on in a draft and you just like don't care about the rest of your list. This is great. I think this is great. I think Sheoldred's Restoration is a great card. I give it 4s across the boards. Splatter Goblin. Not good. It's just some filler. Stronghold Arena. 1 and a black. We can kick it. When Stronghold Arena enters battlefield, you gain 3 life each time it was kicked. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. Well, it's whenever 1 or more deals, you can put it into your hand. So it's like draw 1 a turn. I think this is a 5 in limited and a 0 in constructed. I think this is the worst thing in the universe in constructed, but in limited, you gain some cards. Tattered Apparition is a shade. It can grow. It's flying. It's fine. It's just pack-filling limited stuff. Toxic Abomination is a zombie. A 3/2 zombie that hurts you. Love the art on this. Love the art on this. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. One of the reasons why Phyrexia is one of my favorite planes ever is due to the fact that the Polish artist Zdzisław Beksiński, whose pronunciation I butchered because I just did a bunch of screaming Timmy voices, so out of focus. Beksiński's art inspired a lot of the Phyrexian art, and Beksiński is just unbelievable. His fantastical period is the greatest art, the GOAT art. A 3/2 should not have a downside. Oh, for 2? Oh, it sure as hell should. Yeah, it's exercised as Zdzisław Beksiński. Zdzisław. Hey, it's Konik. Majewski. Damn it. Fuck. Parallax, gift and 5. Thanks, Parallax. Thanks. Scroll. Parallax 55, gift and 5, staying alive. Needs to call a hospital. We'll do it. It says, can you stop for a minute and speak about how superior Streets of New Capenna is to this set? What did you say to me? Wait. You mean the digital only release of Streets of New... What? Wait. Huh? Wait, what was the... Hold on. Wait. Streets of New Capenna... Wait. That was Baldur's Gate. I didn't like that one. And Parallax, you want me to rag on Phyrexian zombies and Phyrexian creatures and just Phyrexia in general? Streets of New Capenna was pretty sweet. You know, for some reason my brain is a little melty today, and it's coming back to me. That was actually pretty good, I will say. I can't say that it's better than this, but I can put them equal. I can put them equal, because at the end of the day, those charms... Oh, come on. Come on, the charms. I'm all about those. I want to put every charm into my deck that I can. Streets of New Capenna let me go for 5 colors every time. And people were like, it's a 2-color format. Well, look, I'm a 2-hand format. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I love Streets of New Capenna. Going for that 5-color goodness, it's so good. I love Streets of New Capenna. I hope Dominaria United is anywhere close to Streets of New Capenna's draft excellence. Love drafting that set. That's my answer. Thanks, Parallax. Tribute to Urborg. 1 and a black. Oh, yeah, -2/-2. And if it was kicked, minus, goodness, quite a bit. I actually think the Tribute to Urborg is pretty good because 2 mana, kill a 2 toughness thing is good. I think that if you're doing an Esper control list often, this is a 2 mana kick to kill a really big thing. I think this is quite nice. I'm quite a big fando of Tribute to Urborg. Also, the art is gorgeous. Hey, Bread Theory. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs. Please tell us your theory on bread. Please. Bread Theory says, please re-rate Sarah Paragon to a 0 out of 5 so Commander players don't make it $50. All right. God, I might just give you a refund for those 5 gifted subs. I'll just give you a refund, man. Sarah Paragon. Jesus, a 3/4 flyer. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a land from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less. It doesn't die to lightning strike. You know why this card sucks? In Commander, lot of ways to delete cards from the graveyard. Remember, there's going to be 3 other people at this playable. There's going to be many people at the playable. Okay, and with all these people at the playable, they can all delete your graveyard. So if everyone's deleting your graveyard, then Sarah Paragon is really just reaching out to the exile pile. Can't even make connection, you know. That's why this is a trash card. It dies to Doomblade, dies to Fatal Push, dies to pretty much all sweepers. And I mean, really, this is like lose your board to a sweeper, gain 2 life, and eliminate it from the graveyard. You don't want that. You don't want this tag on any of your creatures. You don't want this tag on any of your creatures because we all know Perpetual was a mistake. We know it was a mistake. And for that reason, you should save up $50 to be able to add that to your Commander decks. All right. Urborg Repossession. This is when your Urborg is not making the lease payments on his Urbug, and the leasing office sends out the Urborg Repossession for 1 black. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Gain 2 life. Spell is kicked. Return another target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. I'm going to run this in my Golgari nonsense list. Creatures and planeswalkers and fair cards. And gaining a little bit of life. Brett Theory says 10 out of 10 would give 5 subs again. Don't do that, because then you will definitely not be able to afford the Sarah Paragon. Writhing Necromass. Oh. Do you ever, like, accidentally not wind up putting something into the dishwasher? And then when you open up that pot lid and you look in there, you're greeted by that writhing Necromass. It's a 0 out of 5 regardless. All right. Oh my gosh. We did 116 cards in 2 hours. That means I'm going to take a break. Turns out skipping most commons is how to stay ahead. I'm going to use the restroom, and when I return, we're going to do red, we're going to do green, multicolor artifacts, and lands. Stay tuned.